Hi, welcome to our second week of talking about the Eucharist. We are in this last 4 week mini series here talking about the Eucharist, Jesus' very life, his body, blood, soul, and divinity given to us to feed our soul. And this week we're talking about the Passover, the Last Supper, where Jesus first gives us this very food. So manna prefigured what he was going to do in the Eucharist in the Old Testament. And then at the Last Supper, he literally gives his body and blood to the disciples, to the apostles that were sitting there around the table with him at the Last Supper. And it was the Passover meal that they were celebrating. If you remember, Passover was the event in the Old Testament. The Israelites happened when they were stuck in Egypt and they were trying to escape. Moses was trying to lead them out of Egypt, and the angel of death came, and they were told to put the blood of a lamb on the doorpost and get ready to be able to escape Egypt. You've ever seen The Prince of Egypt, right? That's the story of Moses and the Israelite people leaving. They celebrated this meal where the angel of death came and passed over their houses because the angel of death saw the blood of, and actually it was the shape of a cross on the doorpost, and passed over their houses and instead killed the Egyptians and not them. And they were spared and they were able to escape from slavery. And so Jesus, as a Jew, was celebrating that same meal, but he transformed this meal. Instead of the lamb being sacrificed to save them from the angel of death, Jesus gave himself as the sacrifice and gave us himself as true food to feed us, but gave us himself on the cross as the ultimate sacrifice. The Last Supper, he says to his apostles, "Take this and eat it. This is my body, which is given up for you. Drink this cup. This is the cup. This is the blood of the new covenant, my new promise with you. This is the blood." And so every time Mass is celebrated and a priest is at the altar saying those same words, he's saying the very words of Jesus. And every time we make a sacrifice in our own lives, every time we have a suffering or a sacrifice that we make, we can unite our sufferings to Christ on the cross. And we can bring with us to Mass our sufferings and our intentions to Mass, and they're united to Christ on that altar of sacrifice. So in his sacrifice, the slavery of our sin we're freed from in his sacrifice on the cross, and we participate in that sacrifice every time we're at Mass and every time we receive Jesus into our very bodies, into our very soul. We're fed with his very life and strengthened to be able to continue on this journey, which ultimately leads us to heaven. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you soon.